Elizabeth Bathory died imprisoned in her own tower, surrounded by the shadows of the horrors she had committed. But she was not the only figure to terrorize medieval Europe with unspeakable cruelty. While Hungary silenced the name of the Blood Countess, in Germany, a new legend was born, even wilder, even more inexplicable. She wasn't a noblewoman. She wasn't a woman. He was a farmer. A family man. A man who, they say, turned into a wolf on nights with a full moon. Now, let's look at the case of Peter Stumpp, the werewolf of Bedburg. In 16th century Germany, when darkness was explained by witchcraft, demonic pacts, and curses, a town lived in terror at the hands of what they called a werewolf. Mutilated bodies. Missing children. A hunger that not even death could satisfy. Today, you'll learn about the case of Peter Stumpp, the farmer accused of being a monster, literally. This is the werewolf of Bedburg. We are in Bedburg, a small rural village in the Holy Roman Empire, in the year 1589. A time when famine, plague, and war ravaged the people. And where beliefs in supernatural creatures were as real as the fires of the Inquisition itself. In the countryside, they said a beastly creature prowled at night. A gigantic wolf, smarter than ordinary animals, more vicious than any predator. With each new dawn, a new body was found. For months, women and children began disappearing. Some bodies were found devoured, with limbs torn off, viscera exposed. Others were never found. The population panicked. Werewolf hunts were organized. Armed men scoured the forests, convinced that a supernatural beast was on the loose. It was then that suspicion fell on a man. Peter Stumpp, a relatively respected widowed farmer and father of two, who, until then, had not aroused suspicion. On one of the expeditions, hunters claimed to have cornered a monstrous wolf. But when the animal was shot, what they found, according to reports, was Peter Stumpp, still with his wild eyes. He was immediately arrested. And what followed was one of the most brutal interrogations in the history of the witch hunt. Under extreme torture, Peter confessed a story that would shock the world. He said that, at the age of 12, he made a pact with the devil, receiving a magic belt that transformed him into a wolf. For 25 years, he allegedly hunted and devoured men, women, and children. Among his victims were even his own son, whose brain he devoured, and a pregnant woman, whose entrails he ate while still warm. But it doesn't stop there. He was also accused of incest with his daughter, of having an affair with a demon woman, and of witchcraft. Peter Stumpp was declared a monster, human or otherwise. On October 31, 1589, Peter Stumpp was sentenced to death, along with his daughter and his lover. The execution was public and extremely cruel. His flesh was torn off with hot pincers. His bones were broken with a wheel. He was then beheaded and burned. His daughter and lover were also strangled and burned. But was Peter Stumpp really a cruel murderer? Or was he just another victim of medieval hysteria, fueled by fear, ignorance, and a thirst for punishment? Even so, the legend of the Bedburg werewolf survives to this day. And it reminds us how, in the darkness of history, true monsters didn't always have sharp teeth. Do you believe Peter Stumpp was a werewolf? Or just a scapegoat for the Inquisition? Leave your comment, like the video, and subscribe for more real-life and disturbing stories like this one. See you on the next dive into the dark mind of history, here on Behind the Mask.